What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you our Beta Phase 2 updates on the Arcanist class. So just a couple things to get out of the way real quick. I've already covered this class in depth in terms of all of its mechanics and everything. What I'm covering here is specifically the changes that were made with the Beta Phase 2. That is to say, the archetypes and things that were added. I will put a link down to the older video that has all of the other ones if you're interested in watching that, as well as understanding things like any requirements or anything like that that this particular class might have. However, I will mention that the new UI that was also added with Beta Phase 2 actually puts a lot of that in little boxes you can see on the screen here, which I find pretty handy. So for the Arcanist with Beta Phase 2, we have two new archetypes to go into. So the first is Nature Mage. This is actually very similar to the base class. However, this archetype changes out the Arcanist spell list for the Hunter spell list. So you'll get things like Acid Maul or Entangle that you should be able to see on screen here. Now, in the pen and paper version, the Nature Mage does actually get a lot of other class features. However, at least in Beta Phase 2 here, those features are not present. I even used a bit of a workaround to level a character up to 20 in game, and even at the appropriate levels he would normally get the class features that I mentioned. You don't actually gain them, and it's just not on the class sheet or anything like that. They're just not in the game here. So right now, Nature Mage is basically your base Arcanist, except with the swapped spell list. Now, next up, we have Phantasmal Mage, which is a little more interesting. So right off the bat, Phantasmal Mage is only available to gnomes. You cannot play this if you are not playing as a gnome. For the Phantasmal Mage, the main difference between it and the Arcanist base class is that at 5th, 11th, and 17th level, you will trade an Arcanist exploit for Arcane Meta Magic. So basically, this will let you spend a point from your Arcane Reservoir as a free action to make the next Arcanist Illusion spell that you cast in 2 rounds, either Extended, Reach, or Selective at level 5, using the appropriate Meta Magic feat. So basically it lets you master Meta Magic without taking the feats at the expense of one of your Arcanist exploits. Now at 11th level, you can spend up to 2 points of your Arcane Reservoir as a free action to use the Persistent or Empowered Meta Magic. And then at 17, you can use 3 points to make the Maximized Meta Magic, or 4 points to use the Quickened Meta Magic. And then at level 20, they actually get Meta Magic Supremacy as their capstone ability, which will reduce the prior 3 abilities' Arcane Reservoir cost by 1, instead of getting Magical Supremacy, which allows the Arcanist to pass spells back and forth between their Arcane Reservoir and their spell slots. Now, that is pretty much going to do it for the Arcanist updates, guys. Some of these videos are going to be long, some of them not so much. In this particular case, the archetypes were fairly straightforward. However, some of them have more in-depth things that I'll have to cover. So the length of these videos will be a little all over the place as we go over the updates. But there's everything in Beta Phase 2 that was updated for the Arcanist. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And if you're interested in the rest of the Arcanist class, I suggest you click the link in the description down below for that video. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.